everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing my February budget. So I've already kind of got my planner and notebook set up, but we're going to be filling in all the numbers and talking through them today. I do share these videos monthly, and I also do a recap video. So I'm going to leave my finance playlist down below if you're interested in seeing some different budget type videos from me in the past. But without further ado, let's just go ahead and dive right in. So up first I have my planner. This is from the brand Golden Coil, and what I do in here is I have a monthly spread that I put all of my bills onto. So I actually filled this out and highlighted it in my plan with me video. I can have that linked down below and up in the cards as well if you want to watch me actually fill it in. I know that's kind of satisfying and relaxing to watch, but I basically just have all of my bills here. So let's just talk through that quickly. I am paid once a month. I'm a salaried employee, so I know exactly what my salary is going to be, but I just get it at the end of the month. So the paycheck that I'll be getting for January comes on the last business day of January, which is the 29th, and that's going to be my paycheck that lasts all of February. So I'll be going into the month with a full amount. And one of the struggles I had early on with a monthly pay schedule is making my spending and grocery money last. So what I've done is I've implemented a weekly allowance here. You can see it on Fridays. It's highlighted in this orange that I give myself. So I transfer my amount. So the amount that I am using right now is $100 for groceries, $10 for gas, and $100 for spending each week. If I use it all that week, okay. If I have a little bit extra, it just rolls into the next week. But that way I don't feel like I'm blowing everything in the first 2 weeks and then scraping by in the last 2 weeks. So really not a ton to point out on this sheet. I don't have any holidays or birthdays or anything like that. So yeah, kind of a boring monthly calendar, but that's okay with me. Let's go ahead and jump right into my notebook. I'll have this link down below. I got it off of Amazon. It's kind of a Happy Planner-esque, like this disc pound type notebook. And I have my budget already written out, like I said. I do this on a spreadsheet first. So if you guys would like to see an updated spreadsheet video, let me know. But we're just going to write out our values. I realize I don't have a line here. And I'm going to talk through what each of the numbers are and all that fun stuff. But let me first start by adding a little color here. I'm just going to mark my February budget in pink, because for Valentine's Day that seems appropriate. Let's get a little action going there. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is establish what our budgeted income is. For me, I only ever budget off of my salary income. And like I said, this is my monthly total. So I guess this is also after taxes, insurance, things like that. $3,564.18. So that is my income, and I mark my income in green. And I only budget off of this because I could estimate what I'll get for other sources of income, but I'd rather just know that all my bases are covered with this income than needing to estimate that I need something else. So I just treat any other money that I get throughout the month kind of as bonus money, and each time I get more money in my account, I evaluate what category I want to apply that money to. It could be debt, it could be a saving, it could be a lot of things, but I just like to base my budget off of what I know 100% I can expect. So let's go through this. The first section here is expenses, and I like to mark my expenses in this purple color. So we'll do that, and we'll just go down our line here. So my mortgage is $1,011.86. My HOA is $239.52. I have a few different numbers here with the beginning of the year, so I'm still trying to get used to them a little bit. My insurance, I do have this broken down on my spreadsheet by homeowner's insurance versus my car insurance, but for the sake of this notebook paper, I roll them all up. So the total is $169.98. My phone is $84.39. And then I've changed this one. I used to call it NetSpot for Netflix and Spotify. However, since, we're home all the freaking time, we did get Amazon Prime so that we can watch videos and other TV shows and things like that. And we also have a subscription to the Met Opera on demand. We love watching operas, so now that I have 4, I'm just rolling them all up. And this total is a new number for me as well. It's $54.74. And this is one that I split with my boyfriend. At the end of the month, we split to this, and then also the groceries. We keep track because we both will go to the grocery store, so we just keep receipts. We put them in like a bag on our counter, in our drawer, or whatever. And then at the end of the month, we count them all up and see kind of where we split and who's already paid what and who owes each other what. So anyway, this is being split, and then my groceries as well. So my grocery budget is $100 per week, and there are 4 Fridays in February, so that would be $400. But again, I will see if I even use all of my $400 or not. That's something him and I work out at the end of the month. Gas, I do $10 a week because I'm not going really anywhere, so that's $40 for the month. And then spending, I also give myself $100 for a week. This is for eating out. If I want to purchase, something new, that's my spending money. So this totals $2,449, which gives me a remaining of $1,163.69. So I'm just going to highlight, here's my expense total, and I'm going to also highlight in green what I have outstanding income-wise that needs to be established and still allocated, because I am a zero-based budgeter. Okay, next we're going to move into funds. For me, I am not a cash spender. I don't like using cash because for me, I can't keep track of records of it. Whereas if I use my card, I have a nice audit trail, even if I don't have a receipt, and I just prefer it that way. So for my funds, it's a mix of sinking funds and cash envelopes, which a lot of other people do. I just roll them all up together. So the first one is utilities, which I know seems like kind of weird. Shouldn't that be expense? It's kind of both. I have a utility fund, which I've spoken about this a ton, so I'm just going to kind of quickly give a synopsis. My utilities fund I keep at $300 because my utilities have never been more than, I think, $250 a month. So I have a little bit of cushion in there. And what I do is, because I don't always know my utility bill at the time I'm creating my budget, so I always start the month with $300, and then whatever I need for utilities throughout the month comes out of my account automatically. And at the end of the month, I figure out how much more I need to put back in to be back at $300, which essentially means that I'm filling this up with what my utilities were for January, if that makes sense. Because I started January with $300, my bills came out, and I'm refilling it. So anyway, all that to say, this month I'm putting in $84.33. That was a very long story, and I was trying to keep it short. Okay, and then I have my annual, and this month I'm putting in more than normal. I'm putting in $160. I'm hit pretty hard with this annual the first quarter of the year, I would say. So annual is used for things like my car registration. It's used for my home warranty. It's used for AAA, things like that. So that is the annual. Miko is my cat. He gets $40 a month to supply his food and litter and things like that. Incidental, I put $50 in here every month. This is my kind of cushion fund. Something came up that I didn't plan for. I like to have a little bit of a cushion here so that I'm not totally screwing up my budget each month. And I should mention all of these, if I don't use them, I roll it to the next month. So I'm putting $50 into my incidental, but I already have a balance there because I've been rolling over the leftover for a few months. Vacation, I'm putting in $100. I don't have any planned vacations, but I like to just add to this fund so that when I do plan to take a vacation, I'm ready. My beauty fund gets $50. This is for, purchasing skincare, makeup, things like that. Gifts is going to get $50 this month. Again, I don't have a lot of birthdays or holidays in the first quarter of the year, so I kind of take it a little bit easy, and then I will progressively ramp this up throughout the year. Home, $30. This is for things, like around the house that you just need. And then my emergency fund, $50. I'm a believer that you should always be contributing something to your emergency fund, even with paying off debt. So I'm personally at the point where I have 1 month's worth of expenses saved in my emergency fund, and that's okay with me to be at that point. And so now I am attacking some credit card debt, but I still believe that it's important to put something towards the emergency fund, just so that it slowly builds. If it takes you 2-3 years to pay off your debt, it would be nice to just have that slowly building each year, in my opinion. So that is all of the funds, and this total is $614.33, which gives me a remaining of $549.36. So I'm going to highlight this in blue for my funds, and then green because this is still income that I need to allocate somewhere in my budget. Okay, next I've got investing, and I do think that time in the market outweighs timing the market. And so I like to put a little bit of money into investing every single month, even though I am working on other financial goals. So I have a few different accounts here that we could talk through. The first one is Betterment. This is a taxable account. I'm using it to build money potentially for a future like remodel, or maybe, I don't know, if I get married, like something big in the future. I don't know exactly what it is, but it's not an immediate time frame. It's probably 4 or 5 years off yet, so that's why I feel comfortable investing it. And I'm just put $10 in every month. That's actually an automatic withdrawal that comes out of my bank account directly into my brokerage account. And then I also have my Roth IRA, and right now I have that set up for $25 a month. Once I do pay off my debt and can ramp up my emergency fund, I absolutely would love to put more money into that Roth IRA, of course, for the long term. And then I've got GroundFloor here. I'm actually not contributing into GroundFloor, but I already have money in my account. So I like to have it here as a line item because this first column is my budgeted. And then what we're going to do is we'll fill out the actual together later once the month is done. So I'm not putting any money in GroundFloor, but I often get interest or dividends off of GroundFloor. So I like to have that line item so I can reconcile. So this is $35 planned, and that still gives me $514.36 remaining. So let's highlight this in orange and green. Okay, and then my last section is debt. So I'm going to mark that in yellow. And I have a little bit of credit card debt remaining. So these are the 4 credit cards that I have in my name. I have no balance on Discover and no balance on Amex, which is A+. So I still have them here for the same reason, for the reconciliation and to keep track that I actually didn't put anything on them. My Citi card is where I'm putting my minimum payment. So this month it's $43. This was a 0% interest transfer card. So I did have a balance in my Amex that I moved to my Citi so that I'm not paying monthly interest. I still have, I think, 13 or 14 months to pay this off, which I have a plan for. But right now I'm just making the minimum because I have the Capital One balance, and this is going to get $471.36, and this one does have interest on it, so I'm prioritizing this. And also it is a smaller balance, so it kind of fits both that debt avalanche and debt snowball, but I personally am more interested in the interest since this is 0% and this is, I think it's like 23%. I obviously want to get that balance down first. So all that combined here is $514.36, which gives me a remaining of 0, and that's exactly what I want because I am a zero-based budgeter. So let's just go ahead and highlight that and that. So that is going to be my February budget. As I mentioned before, in a lot of these categories here, if there's money left over, I keep it in these categories so that these funds can build. However, if I come in below on groceries or gas, that extra money, I will then evaluate, do I want to put into one of these savings, do I want to invest it, or do I want to put a debt? Typically right now I'm putting it all towards debt, but you know, life can change. And so I like having that option to choose what's best for my life, you know, in that month. So with that being said, this is going to be my budget. We will come back at the beginning of March to go through my actual percentage and my whole wrap up kind of recap video. There's a lot of different things I like to track during those videos. So as I said at the beginning, I'll have that whole playlist linked down below if you want to check out what I'm doing, and I'll have my January recap video up soon. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope you guys are having a great day. Bye.